What is going on, guys? It is your boy Swifty, and in today's video, guys, we are going to be explaining the process of launch control in Forza Horizon 5. This method is a little bit difficult because it's a little different from Forza Horizon 4. The majority of the way launch control works in this game is you pretty much hold the brake, hold the gas, and you're stuck at around 2k RPMs for most cars. The Supra, for example, which we're using right now, is locked at 20 pounds of boost, which is around 1900 2k RPMs, which is still a good launch. But for the people out there that want to be able to launch at full boost in most cars to maximize the power of the car that they have, there is another way that you can get it to lock a little bit higher so it's full boost. So there's a couple different methods to this. I'm going to explain the first method. Of course, you have to be in manual with clutch. The other thing I want to say too is every car is a little bit different. The C8, for example, I've tried this method on. It's a little bit harder because the launch control in that car is a little higher off the get, so it's hard to get it to kick up and hold. And the boost levels in that car stay the same for me anyway. I also tried out the 2017 Nissan GTR. That car works as well as the Supra, just fine, but the boost levels don't change too much. So the boost levels in the GTR, for example, only change around 2 pounds of boost when you go up a little higher. But with that being said, we'll give you guys a rundown on how to kind of do this. There's two methods to do this. So the first method that I do is I hold the brake, hold the gas, let it go down to the 2k RPMs, hold the e-brake, which would be A, let off the actual brake, then you're going to want to tap the clutch kind of twice, but realistically once, then catch it again. This doesn't really work every time because sometimes the car freaks out and it'll just want to rev high and you can't get it to lock where you want it to. The Supra tends to lock at like 3 to 4k. So, but even being in 3 to 4k with this car alone is still full boost, so you don't really need to lock any higher. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do the regular launch control, brake, gas, 2k, let off the actual brake, continuing to hold the e-brake, tap the clutch once, then tap it again quick, it'll lock a little higher, but on that second tap you want to hold it there. So we'll do it now, we'll tap it, got it to lock. So we hit it twice. We hit it once for it to bounce up, and then we hit it a second time to get it to hold here, but we have to be holding the clutch at the same time. This is a little bit hard to explain, but I'm doing my best. So right now we're locked at 39.7 pounds of boost, which is full boost in this car from what I have seen so far, and then basically it would just launch way more aggressive. You are also able to continue holding the e-brake and the clutch and let off the gas. It will still go back up to where you have it set to, but you cannot move. So the second that you move and you get going again, you have to repeat the process. So basically, like I said, brake, gas, let it sit at 2k, let off the brake, hold the e-brake, tap the clutch once to get it to bounce up, then hold it a second time. Still locked at 39.7 pounds of boost. This one's a little bit lower RPM, but still full boost. And then basically you would just let off them and it would still launch just as hard. This car is not really set up too much for drag racing yet, but that's the first method of doing this. So now the second method of doing this would be to kind of come to like a rolling stop. Stop the car all the way. Hold the brake and the gas at the same time. But this time it's going to jump up past 2k. And you're going to want to try to catch it when it jumps up past 2k. So we're going to hold the brake. Then we're going to hold the gas. You guys are going to see it jump up. But I'm going to tap the clutch when it's around 4k RPMs. I'm not going to tap it. I'm going to hold the clutch so that it stays right there. So we're going to hit it, but then caught it with the clutch. So that's the second way of doing this. Not every car works the same from what I have tested so far. For example, we're going to hop into the C8 Corvette. If I can figure out my way over here. We're going to hop into the C8 Corvette. You guys will notice that the boost levels in the C8 don't really change even if you hold the clutch and do this or whatnot. So we're going to go back into this here. As you guys can see, the C8 kind of locks at 23 pounds of boost, 2300 RPMs. We're going to do that same method. The C8 is a much harder car to do this is kind of something new that I haven't really figured out 110% how to do perfectly, which is kind of hard. So the CA, the first method doesn't really work well on, so we're going to do the second method, hold the brake, do the gas. It's a little different for every car, so I'm still trying to figure out how to do this perfectly. But if you do it the second method, come to a stop, catch it, it's still locked at 23 pounds of boost. But that still gives you the ability to launch at a higher RPM, which can help in some scenarios. And then our third example, we're going to be going to the Nissan GTR. This car has a little bit of an effect too, where the boost levels will change in the RPM. Not too much though, not as much as the Supra. The Supra is the best one that I've tested so far out of the three that has the most boost increase off launch. So we'll head over here again, we'll stop the car. We'll try the first method with brake, gas, back it down, hold the e-brake, let off the actual brake, tap the clutch once, then hold it a second time to catch it. So you got to be kind of quick at this. So we're at 25 pounds of boost, locked. And then of course you'd be good for a launch. So the GTR, I believe, usual launch RPM is around 23. So not too much of a difference, but it's still giving you the ability to launch at a higher RPM, which can help. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. This is a little bit hard to explain. I try to do it my best. If you guys need any help, feel free to add me on Xbox. That's my name in the top left. And with that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.